Hey, you just made it through your first lab. Good job. Congratulations. Now, I know there wasn't a lot of hands-on with this, but there still was enough. Yeah, you might be feeling like, well, I didn't get to code anything yet. No, but you were reading code. You were seeing code. You were seeing the different components. You were learning about intent. You were learning about the process of how a website works. And those are all important, fundamental first steps. What I want you to do now is make sure that you got everything in this particular lab. Make sure it makes sense. If I were to sit down with you, we bumped into each other at a word camp, and I were to say, okay, what's the intent of a theme? Could you answer that for me? If I said, okay, I have this web request over here, big picture, how's that get processed? Could you answer that for me? These are important. I want to make sure that you get it because as a web developer, getting these essential big picture fundamentals is important before you even move on to start thinking about each individual line of code. Now, the next thing is you're going to say, well, you didn't teach me anything about setting up my local development computer, workflow, right? How do I get Gulp set up? How do I get this set up? How do I get that? Let me tell you something about these. I teach you programmatic thought, how to build websites, how to write clean quality code, how to be a professional in this business. That's what I teach you about. Workflows are going to come and go. There's lots of different workflows and everybody has a preference to them. Now, as we go along, I'll show you some different things, but I don't teach workflows. Okay? Why? Because you could sit down and open up a text editor and write code. No, it's not the most efficient way. You're not going to be able to test things properly with it, but you could. You could work natively in that CSS file to where you don't need Sass, which means then you don't need Gulp, you don't need other things. So therefore, these are awesome. Absolutely. I use Sass, I use Gulp, I use lots of different things. That's my own personal. It makes me more efficient in the way that I like to work. And I'll slowly over time teach these to you. But notice that I did not start off by saying, thou shalt set your machine up like this. Dun, 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 dun. No. You can get some basic tools and get rolling. What's more important is how you think about solving problems and writing code. This is what you and I are going to focus on. We're going to be writing lots of code together, but I'm teaching you to think about code. Don't get stuck on the buzz. You hear me talk about that a lot. Ooh, I got to go chase the latest buzz. It will not help you to build sites if you don't understand the essence of programming and site development. Nope, those are just cool tools. And hey, let me tell you something. Once you get really skilled at writing code, yeah, you're going to want to improve your efficiency. Absolutely. You're going to want to develop a super duper workflow so that you can be as efficient as possible and really crank out your projects. But right now, let's don't concern ourselves with that. Let's just stay very, very focused on having lean tools so that you can just start thinking about how to write code. And then we'll get into the code itself, okay? By the way, again, congrats to you. You got through your first lab. Make sure you understand it all. And then when you're ready, let's move on.